the Asian community thousands of years ago found the concentrates and created this, right? That's where it came out of. And now China wants to rid their people from it, which is crazy to me. Yeah. They're the ones who created it to heal people. So they found concentrates to what? Heal their worst sick people and their elderly back in the day and in ancient civilizations. So we carried over. It was in the pharmacopoeias of every country until about 1932.
Stage One podcast.
Hey.
From legacy to legal, stoop to store. Here we go. I'm the host and owner of Stage One. Merc, Josh, whatever the fuck you want to call me.
Mark.
Man, Mark.
Marcus.
We'll go around and introduce yourselves.
Yes, it is I, the one and only, the Buddha boy, up in the motherfucking building. You see me here, high as shit, about to get higher. Let's fucking go.
Whoop, whoop. I'm Mr. Lava Ravioli.
Yo,
Happy to be here.
Can we talk about how his last name's Lavender? For real?
Lavender.
It's the most hippie last name ever. Like, he was born for this shit. He was born for this wolf shit.
So his parents,
to be a farmer.
his great-great-grandparents came over in the Statue of Liberty. What's your last name would be? Lavender.
Lavender.
I can't wait to hear that story. Brian Lane from NoWave.
Ricky Bandana. Scotty Knox, a.k.a. Scotty Pack, a.k.a. Scooty,
Hey.
a.k.a. your favorite weed man.
Your favorite weed man. Your favorite weed man. All right. Tonight we're gonna talk a little bit about everything. Cause why not? We got Brian here. He's one of the most knowledgeable people that I have met in the industry so far, and he's always a wealth of knowledge and willing to share it. He just shared this little tidbit about a podcast that he did 70 episodes of that was all about cannabis, and so talk to us a little bit about that podcast and how you learned so much about the industry.
Yeah, thanks for that, man. First of all, pleasure. It's great to be here at Stage One. I love the studio, and I can't wait to do more stuff here. I'm excited about that. I don't think many people have taken advantage of this venue to promote themselves, and that's kind of not what I did, but what I did was I put together a podcast back. How about this? Before I was in the cannabis career, I was a postal employee for 18 years. So I couldn't really be very obvious with my cannabis consumption, which was heavy other than when I was working. And so right afterwards, I said I needed to understand more information about this industry as I come into it. So I decided to start the Hemp-Athletic podcast, which essentially what I did was I wanted to talk about my experience as an athlete smoking weed my whole life, and I was a pretty good athlete, and I wanted to teach people how I did that and had a successful life and how people can do it themselves. So I interviewed some pretty cool people. Ed Rosenthal from the High Times actually reached out to me when he heard about the podcast when he was promoting a book and really wanted to talk about the social side of it. Which was cool. And I've had Austin Trout, WBA boxing champion, and Kevin Madden, a good buddy of mine from college, who runs one of the leading think tanks who works for CNN. All talking about just the industry and from different perspectives, including doctors, lawyers, entrepreneurs. And I got to say, I went from being just a smoker to understanding a lot of not the industry, but the plant, which is what I wanted to learn. I wanted to learn about the plant and how it really, why it affects so many people differently. That was my goal.
That was what I really noticed when I went to visit you guys out in Rochester. You got you're one of the first spots I actually visited after getting the license, and spoke to a few different people. But you guys were super inviting. You were like, "Yo, come out and see the spot." And it wasn't even finished yet. It was just your offices were still under construction, but the labs were all done, and your processing was done, and you were showing me all the plant where you canning stuff, and you're got all the gummies, the assembly line for all the gummies. I'm just my mind was blown. Everything was so clean and fresh and brand new. And then, while giving me the tour, you're dropping all these facts about things, and up until that point, yeah, I mean, I know about weed. I know, the loudest pack sells the best. You know what I mean? And I know sativa and indica.
Not always.
And I know
what's our best sellers?
Right, the highest THC is the best seller now.
I think the cheapest price, right?
Yeah, oh no, the cheapest price, yeah, or the highest THC.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's what people are always coming in and asking about the highest THC, but they will buy the $33 eighth.
Absolutely.
Like a motherfucker.
Especially when a lot of them are clocking in the mid-20s, 25, 26. So
right.
It's like, if they're shopping for that, THC and for a bargain.
How many people are actually shopping for terps as well as that? Are they asking you about terps at all, or at
Right
the
here in
smell?
the New York
Nose?
market,
Just you guys, yeah.
All the terp chasers are buying on the gray market.
Still.
Of
Or
course.
concentrates.
Or concentrates.
That comes from
yeah.
New York not having no indoor flower. All the best weed's still on the streets for the most part. If you know.
Yeah.
And why that is, folks, just for those of you who don't know, we've been growing outdoors so far under this licensing, right? Just to make sure everybody knows why.
Yeah.
And Mother Nature doesn't allow necessarily these plants to mature properly enough in our
in New
light
York, in
cycle
New York's
here.
climate.
Really
Yeah,
outdoors.
it's not California.
It's not Oregon.
It's a lot wetter here. The rainy season is right when you want your plant to be the driest here. You know what I'm saying? So it's really difficult, and then there's the restrictions on, the greenhouse grows that were available, and we, you can't prevent aerobic bacteria, which we're seeing a lot of, and microbial impurities, and that's the stuff that you're battling when you're not able to have a completely controlled indoor environment.
Yeah.
So they are bringing indoor grows into the market soon. They're allowing for some licenses to come in that. Brian, we were talking about this earlier. How many licenses do you think they're talking about doing for indoor?
Well, I don't have it in front of me. If I wish I did, but I know they're doing tiers systems, and there's going to be an indoor 2-tier system for the indoor. But I had heard that they're only talking about 25 licenses for each. And then also there was a little interesting thing that the current cultivator license holders couldn't put in for an indoor grow this year.
Yeah. So
they didn't know it until they started filling out their application, and all of a sudden the tab grayed out for indoor grow when they were already kind of an existing AUCC. So I felt bad for them because many people didn't realize that for some
wild.
reason.
I thought they were there was a point where there was a crossroad and they were given an opportunity to pick a license type. Was that indoor grow not one of the license types that they were able to pick?
Yeah, indoor grow is, they could do hoop houses before, but now this indoor grow and this, so we're going, just so everybody's clear, we're going from total provisioning. So we have provisional licenses in the cultivator class, provisional license in the processor class, and then we have the retail program, which is separate. I'll keep that separate. But as far as the provisional, now we officially are going through the process of being reviewed to go to our permanent licensing. So for instance, I can talk best about the processor side. There's 40 licensed processors in the state right now. I believe 32 can extract and manufacture, and 8 can only manufacture products. And of those, all of us will have to reapply for this license right now and then wait to get approved for our real license, right? Our final license. So the cultivators were given different tiers, like you said. I know at some point they were giving an option to change somewhat what they had. But at this point right now, I do know the indoor grow applications were only going to be very few of these right now. I do know there's more farmers getting hoop houses up and that kind of thing, which should help. But obviously that needed to get a little more mature market for these farmers to bring in money, because as we all know, this is a serious cost and investment for them.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I feel like they've been getting screwed at every angle. The cultivators.
Yeah, and I don't know if who is the result of that, or if it's just a lot of things came together at once. But
I think because ultimately it's things like the injunctions that ended up screwing the farmers the worst, because with that, like keeping the stores from opening and allowing them to sell their supply to people, a lot of farmers had to sit on shit and then turn it into oil, which sells at a fraction of the cost of what, and especially if any of them had I know a lot of growers who had, processed some of their flower into eighths already and bagged it up and had it ready to go, and then didn't have anywhere to sell it because it wasn't I don't know. There was like 10 of us for a while, or 12 of us for a while.
And we were denying everything.
Right.
Not everything, but like.
No,
well, you can only have so many SKUs in your buildings, guys.
Right.
Like,
we had like fucking 300 SKUs, and it's like at that point we're, and
it was more about lab testing. I was talking.
And
about,
to keep it funky, like we're opening this store and scaling it up from zero, right? Like I ran a recording studio, Nangalina doing real estate, Sue's working at an office and running an Airbnb. None of us have a retail store, so we're like doing this, and then. So we have to. The whole
industry's new too.
The whole industry is new, right?
Yeah.
Not, like you add all of these equations together, and then we felt like the smart play was to be very selective about the partnerships we made, because what are we who's gonna be there long term, and who's making the right moves early, and you want to help some people, but you also just want to work with the people that are going to fucking be there forever, because they're doing things right. So we were very.
How big is
selective.
relationships in this industry right now?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think people realize that everybody's talking about legislation. They're all talking about the social media. Everybody's getting caught up. But at the end of the day, I'm finding the relationships being built within this industry now are really the most important things happening for everybody, the people that are working hard and right.
Yeah, exactly. So we've known we've known each other since day one in the industry. Basically, I came and saw and we've stayed in touch, and you guys are like one of the number one SKUs overall in the state and in our store. The off hours, the whole brand, vapes and gummies, which I always say the off hours are like my fucking favorite flavor profile of all the gummies, and I think that and the effects of them too. Like they say that they do what they say they're gonna do. So like. To my earlier point of making sure we fuck with people that are like in it for the long haul and understand what they're doing. Like you guys already knew your product was solid when I met you. I knew that. I could tell you were confident in it, and you were talking branding at that point. So you were already like working on version 2 of your branding or 3 of your branding, so just to see how dialed in you guys were already, I was like, all right, yeah, these dudes are everything that And
thank you for that. I do appreciate that though. But thank you.
Yeah. So
I have a question,
and I'm sure you see we move a lot of off hours gummies where we're at, and that's because all of the bud tenders stand on that product too.
It's nice when a product sells itself. I mean, it's a fruit pectin base. It's not animal byproducts, and we put a lot of love into it. And this is our 3rd version. We can now make the gummies that we make them the same day and put them in the tin the same day.
That's amazing.
And some people can't even figure out how to get them cured right. But yeah, we're still able to do the same day.
I'm sorry.
No, you please.
What's great about yours is the texture. For them being vegan gummy, that's what I hate about vegan gummies. They're like, a lot of them are slimy. They sweat a lot. They're just a bad texture. A lot of pectin gummies, and they just have a good firmness to them. It almost like feels like gelatin, but it's not.
Yeah, dialed in.
That's a huge thing for me is the texture of them. So it's a big thing.
Scotty's the hugest candy head.
I am.
He's a critic about candy.
Definitely.
And weed.
Just a critic. He's just a critic.
And music. Everything. But here's the thing. If Scotty fucks with it though, that shit.
I know. So
tough.
can I ask you a question then? Can I ask you a question? We make blanks. Do the blanks in our regular gummies match in flavor profile?
Pretty damn close. Yeah. I can. Yeah. I don't barely taste the difference.
Yeah,
really
the flavor profile on your gummies is serious. Like you can't even.
Like on
and then they fucking hit, and you're like, oh shit, like that shit is hitting.
Well, I always tell people they're trying to buy like some. I don't want to say. I was almost said another brand's name, but I ain't gonna put them under the bus like that. But a brand that has indica sativa hybrid gummies, but they're just made with distillate. And there's no other cannabinoids in there differentiating it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not really an indica or sativa or a hybrid. It's just distillate.
Well, it's hard to do. We're doing 2, just to let you know.
Yeah.
What we're doing is a little more difficult because, for instance, grab that one tin. The grape one, the grape one there.
Yep.
So we got 4 milligrams CBN in there.
Yes, yes.
So we got to dial that in. So we're making sure you got to be within plus minus 15% of that 4. That's why a lot of people don't want to add those minors because they got to hit that testing to that exact one.
Yeah.
So the way the way we formulate things make it so we can do it very accurately and repeat it. And that's why we can make dial-in. So for instance, you're actually right. We tell people not to use the words indica sativa hybrid with our gummies because I got 4 sativas that do 4 different things. I got one with CBD and CBG in it. Thank you.
Yep.
That
Limelight.
is my Limelight. Thank you, my Limelight. And that's really, I tell people, it's my soccer playing gummy. So if I get clipped, I got that CBD to help with my inflammation. But then I got my euphoric one that's just 4 milligrams CBG. I say it's like my bike riding one because I just want straightforward energy. Right.
Yeah.
So like each one has but they're both sativa. So if a customer comes up to you and says you want sativa, you almost want to. So what I teach people a lot is you want to learn the formula that works for your body. Right.
I say the Limelight's like the going out gummy. Like you want to go out, you want to like take a gummy and go out, have fun, dance, and fucking like that's the Limelight gummy for sure.
Euphoric can do that too, though.
Yeah, Euphoric can do that too. It's
Both
true.
of them.
Both of them.
100%. Yeah.
Both of them.
But then the
All
Illuminate
actually
is,
burned the
but the
white
Illuminate is better. Like,
Good shit.
so I use the Illuminate to do my YouTube videos, for my YouTube channel.
Yeah,
That's
you
what
can dial
I'm
in.
actually creating.
Definitely.
Not too high CBG, and it doesn't have the CBD. It makes me sleepy. It just lets me have that straight focus. So that Illuminate gummy is like the one. Like that's the one I took before this today.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right. So that was the gummy where it's dialing me in where I'm not too wired up with you guys, but I know I can smoke with it and still be good.
Exactly.
But yeah. Thanks for the feedback, though, guys.
Yeah, no doubt.
Sure.
Yeah,
Definitely.
You know, we take a lot. We're also coming out with effect-based vapes coming up soon too.
Nice.
So which will be the similar pattern.
Do you have a favorite out of all of the products that you have?
Oh, me personally,
Yeah.
I want to touch on the live rosin gummies. So just so everybody knows, these are gonna be small batches, like 3,000 per. So this is batch 1, just sold out, the Holy Weed. The wedding cake, which was our batch 2, that so far is my favorite gummy.
Yeah,
By
the
far.
wedding cake.
There's a
one was
Gazerpal too, right?
Yeah.
Yep, there's a Gazerpal. So the batch 2 of our live rosin so far is my favorite product we've made so far.
Okay.
But I do enjoy the hash rolls because nobody else really has a hash roll in the market yet. So I do enjoy the fact that we are the only ones with the hash roll in the market.
Yeah, no, the hash roll is serious. That should be hitting.
And those are hand rolled in-house by our
Actually-
employees, guys. Like they only can do like 60 to 80 per day.
Oh, good.
Those are done with love, with a little worm of
That's
hash
dope.
in the middle.
That's cool.
Yeah, you can go right to NoWave
That's really
Extract
cool.
and see the picture. NoWave
That's really
Extracts
the
on
only way
Instagram
to
to see the
do 'em.
pictures.
I mean, properly, like
Yeah, because we want to make sure
there's
it's consistency.
machines too, but
That's a tender sucker right there. Yeah, you want to roll that right.
exactly,
So-
the machine really can't roll.
So at NoWave, what I like about the industry is your NoWave has these brands. So we got Off Hours is a NoWave brand, and
Weed water.
Lucy.
is a NoWave brand.
And
Weed
Weed Water.
Water is a NoWave brand.
Well,
But then
thank
you
you.
guys have a few other brands that you guys produce for. Do you want to talk a little bit about?
Yeah,
Some of them.
I'm very proud to say that I believe, have made more brands, brought more brands to market from New York State farmers. So we wanted to provide opportunities for farmers to supplement whatever their product lines they wanted to make. So we made gummies and vapes, and we helped them make some other products. And we have under our umbrella, Singer Farms, Taproot, Snoozy, Rip and Ridge. We had made products for 2J's, Walk the Pines. We had made products. I think we're up to 14 different brands right now.
you do high falls too.
High Falls, correct. High Falls, Canada. Thank you.
Yeah.
Rick would kill me if he saw this and I didn't mention him.
Water.
Sorry, Rick. And then Weed Water's ours. And then Altua, we make for Taproot and the Altua
Now,
team.
I actually had a question.
Please.
I seen Off Hours like a can of syrup, Canaline. Is that
We have a syrup out. Yeah, we
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
a agave-based syrup.
and it's in New York, right?
It is. It's
We gotta
100
get
milligram
that,
syrup.
Merc. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
we need
Hey,
the
Merc, what's
Canaline,
going on
bro.
here?
I'm saying it.
Yeah,
We're talking
I know.
about it.
Wait. I will say is probably
what did
I
Will
didn't tell
say about
Merc
it?
properly about it. Maybe.
Yeah, no, what? Yeah, we need that. We definitely
We
need
need
that.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
that's got to happen.
I used to make my own.
Oh, well, all right,
So
off-
essentially, we have a syrup that I kind of like. We have 3 different ones: a CBG, one's a CBD, one's a CBN. But I like to have a couple capsules of a Sprite, and it's a perfect little.
You got a straight THC one?
There's THC in all of it, but that's.
Do you have a one with just
yeah,
THC?
No,
No.
all of them have the minors.
Gotcha.
Because we really feel like, really when we're smoking, it's general purpose THC is great, but I always like to
Always
have the
feels like
effect
something's
that-
messing.
Yeah, you know, I always. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I'm telling you, when
I got
the
addicted
first
to the
time when I
effects
went
now,
to see
the
them,
minors.
that's how they were on it, and I like asked them immediately about, and it's hilarious because like, I guess I'll talk about it because I don't even think Glenna like opened did a brand or anything, but
She just came out.
Did she?
She's in Rochester too. Yep. They're
I
thinking about another
haven't heard
Rochester
from her since then. So like I went and visited her shit, and she was like, "I'm gonna work on this farm," and I haven't heard from her team or anything. So I'm looking forward to it. I'd love
Yeah.
to see what she's got because I went to see the two of you guys at the same time, and like she had like a CBD store in the mall. And then you guys had this like massive like factory, and I was like, man. But you were I was so impressed with when I was asking you about like how you were going to differentiate the effects of all of your products, and so that we could sell them. Like, because I know that the sativa indica hybrid, but I know that people want shit for sleep, people want shit for wakey. How are you gonna help? Do you have that? And you had it on Smash and taught me a thing or two about it, and I was like, all right, yeah, they're the.
Because I think our system really
what's his
teaches
animal
bartenders to help your customers,
And-
right?
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you want to make your customers educated, but also want to make the transaction smooth and efficient, right?
Exactly, absolutely.
I mean, from a managing.
No, what you want is for the customers to know that when they come in and they want something, there's a bud tender there that can present what it is that they're looking for and help. And then the only way to know is for the people who produce it to be able to tell you about it. And so then when you're confident enough in the producers of a product to be able to teach you about it, and then what they tell you be absolutely true. Because also, like, a lot of people tell you all about their product and they'll talk mad shit, and then you'll get it and you'll open the jar and you're like, what the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you how many times that shit's happened, you know? So like, for you guys to talk all your shit and then improve, it's fucking awesome. Well,
All right, good. Well, I get this little breather. I want to ask a question to you guys.
Yeah.
Tell me you guys don't love it when you can help a customer and they come in and they come back the second time. They go, you really helped me find something that works for me. Like, tell me that feeling isn't like,
Yeah,
what
for sure.
just,
It's one
you
of
know,
the
when
best.
it's a connection, but now it's a personal connection with that person because you found something that either heals their body or works for them somehow. It's like, I mean, give me some, I'd love to hear you guys
I had a
take on it.
customer give me a hug a couple weeks ago. Because I got her a tincture that really helped her dad in the last month of his life. Like, really helped make it bearable. And she gave me a big ass hug, and yeah, it
That's
felt
wild.
amazing.
I love that story.
yeah.
I've heard so many stories.
Yeah,
like
I've heard a bunch of different stories from like friends who have like confided in me about things about their family members that like I find that like a lot of the older generation is finding the happiness in cannabis later on in life, and like the like children of aging parents are super fucking appreciative of it. I found that that's a really cool dynamic that I didn't realize was going to happen. That is happening regularly. That's really cool.
Sure. Definitely.
Society is becoming more open to it finally.
Exactly.
And it's at every level of society to where you're seeing less people put their nose up to it when you talk in public. But you still see occasionally those people, but it's funny, there's less of those people.
I think what I've found is like a lot of curiosity. Like, so now people know what I do for a living, and it's pretty on blast or whatever. It's very, so it's like, especially in a community like Albany, we call it Small Albany. Like, I already had a band around here that was known, so like to get the dispensary, like, everybody fucking knows I have a dispensary, so everybody's curious, and there's no like hate in it. They just want to know, like, but from every walk of life too, you know, like the fucking mason that was doing my next door neighbor's basement was like, and the plumber The plumber fucking.
I love these things.
The plumber has been growing weed for 20 years. Like, came up, like, brought me fucking the top cola of one of his plants, mad proud. Just hit, like, blessed me with it, and then broke a pound out of his fucking the back of his car and like gave me some nugs. Like, this is just some shit I'm giving to my friend. It was like, but like, that would have never fucking happened, you know. But it's like, but that it is becoming way more just acceptable.
It's a very giving community,
Yeah.
and everybody wants to help each other. It's very much. It's very much. Hugs. I love that you said hug, because I hug more people in this industry than I ever have in like 20 years of any professional job I've ever had.
Yeah, no, hugs
the
are
best.
hugs, not drugs.
Yeah, and it's so nice. I mean, it really is. It's refreshing.
Yeah.
Is it an older clientele than you expected?
I mean, it's just
I
it's
say
got a lot of
without
old
a doubt.
yeah, and it's like a diverse clientele. It's like all walks of life too. It's like
For sure.
it's pretty. It's like everybody.
It's surprisingly old though.
Yeah.
The baby boomers want to sleep,
It's
guys.
awesome though. It's
And the
good
baby
seeing it.
boomers don't want to be in pain anymore.
A lot of people I'd
Yeah,
walk by in
that's
public
true.
and be like, they don't smoke weed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And you're always surprised who might walk in to buy something too. You're like, oh, smack. Like, I would have never expected that.
Or you might be
Yeah.
like, oh, maybe they'll buy some gummies, but they'll really they'll buy some flour. You're like, oh, okay, smoke. Smoke.
Get high
Okay.
too. Okay.
It's been fun. I've been selling grannies on dab pens. So getting the Dr. Dabbers, getting them off the juices, and right to the concentrate.
Right to the concentrate.
Well, at that age, I would say that's what you need to do to help them. Yeah.
I've seen himself.
Yeah, me too.
love
Today I saw it.
The Dr. Dabber is a pretty fucking cool thing too, because it's like you sell them on the light or the ghost.
The light.
The light.
Just get them like
just to
this.
get them
Dip
just
their toes.
to dip their toe in.
Yeah.
Get them with the light and and like a gram of concentrate and
trick.
some dank.
Yes, and then the lady came back in and she's like, oh, my coil's burning out. What do I do? You know, I'm like, oh, well, the ghost. And then that one's a reliable one because it comes with the extra atomizers.
With the extra atomizer, yeah.
So you can just keep swapping them and then get more.
All right, so let's talk about consumption for a second.
Yeah.
We know that the Asian community, thousands of years ago, found the concentrates and created this, right? That's where it came out of. And now China wants to rid their people from it, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
They're the ones who created it to heal people. So they found concentrates to what? Heal their worst sick people and their elderly back in the day and in ancient civilizations. So we carried over. It was in the pharmacopoeias of every country until about 1932. Cannabis was a requirement. You guys know what a pharmacopoeia is? It's so if you have a pharmacy anywhere in the world, you have to have these drugs in that pharmacy to heal people.
Okay.
Okay, the cannabis plant was required to be in the pharmacopoeia until 1932 to
It's
the
like think
political
about like
structure.
one of
Okay,
those old timey movies with the doctor would roll through with the cart and he'd open his cart
Yeah,
up and he'd
and
have
there would
all
be a
these little
cannabis-
fucking
yeah.
tinctures
Yeah,
and
yeah,
shit in
absolutely.
there. Like,
Cannabis
it's
would be a
definitely
requirement
like a
of that.
fucking jar of
He's right.
weed in that motherfucker.
So now I say consumption. If I'm sick later in life of cancer ailments, because I smoke a quarter and eighth a day since I've been 17 years old. I tell the story regularly. I don't hide it. I'm also a serious athlete. I'm an Ironman, 2-time Boston Marathoner, 18-year triathlete. So I'm a heavy smoker and a heavy fast athlete. Play basketball winter and I play soccer in the summer too. So
Motherfuckers that skis all winter
ski,
long.
snowboard, YouTube channel in the winter. So I go, but I smoke a lot, right?
He goes hard.
That's my MO. So I always tell people, when you smoke or you vape, or you dab, it's right to your bloodstream, right to your head, right? And you're taking edibles, and that's usually going to be processed with our products. We have nanotechnology, so it's going to process in your esophagus and your stomach lining before it gets to your liver. Most other edibles that aren't, even our live rosin, will go all the way to your liver because it's not fast acting. So that's how it processes and that's how it hits your body. So that's why edible is more of a body high. Anything you consume by vaping is more of a buzz high. So in general, I always warn people about maybe who vape and dab all the time, because where are you going to go to heal yourself if you get a brain tumor at that point? If your whole life you've been dabbing and vaping, you got to then clear all your receptors out, clear your body out. So when you need now something to help you clear, you got to actually clean your body out so you can redo your juice again to kind of solve those ailments, your headaches, all that stuff when you get older. So I always tell people, For me, I smoke most of the time through water. It keeps it clean for me. When I left the post office, 18-year career, I had my lungs checked, my heart checked, asthma checked, negative, negative, negative. Everything was perfect for a 47-year-old man at the time. And my doctor's like, and you're a heavy smoker, Brian. Like, you don't lie to me, right? Like, now she's questioning how much I'm telling her I smoke because I'm clean as a whistle. But I always like to make sure I take in my cannabis in different ways. So weed water I enjoy, my gummies on occasion, but I can't play basketball with gummies because it's a body high and I can't ski with gummies. It makes me too loosey-goosey.
Yeah.
I need to be stable, but I'll smoke my face off both those two exercises. But I won't be on gummies, right? So that's why I say it's
interesting.
right. So consumption is, pay attention to it. It matters how your body and what you need it for. And if you're gonna always vape and dab, where are you really going if your receptors are that full when you need it? When a bad headache one day or something, where are you going? You're already taking in the most concentrated form. Just put it in perspective, most flour, like we were talking about, is what, 20 to 15 to 30%?
Yeah.
You're talking about concentrates are 80 to 90%.
Yeah.
Just to put it in perspective. Yeah. That's just one of the things I learned when we bought our microfluidizer, which does our nanotechnology. Chemists taught us this process, and then it made sense that, oh yeah, like you really want to be conscientious of how you take it in and what you need it for.
And the amount that you're using it at one time.
Yep. Just make sure you don't, screw yourself when you need it.
Right.
Because essentially it's receptors, guys. It's not like alcohol. I think that went out. Sorry. I did. Related. So I'll pass that by me. So essentially, our body's like receptors, A and B receptors that take in cannabis and process it through our endocrine system. So you generally you want to smoke different strains and stuff. If you smoke the same strain all month, it's filling the same receptors. So it's not like you're getting a tolerance of it, but the same receptors are full. It's just kind of washes through your body. Right?
Yeah,
Where alcohol is like
that.
you drink more alcohol and then you could drink more. That's a tolerance thing. This isn't tolerance. It's just kind of washing through your body. It's a little bit different.
I'd say that's like probably one of the better things about this job is like we get sampled out like a motherfucker, so we're always smoking different weed. So like you never like it's not like you buy like a pack and then you're just sitting on that pack for a minute smoking out of it because then it becomes like, damn, I don't even get high anymore when I could smoke this shit for fucking all day and I didn't get high.
And that's funny because we talk. All my uncles are old guys in their 60s, and they smoke a lot. They've smoked a lot of weed in their life, and they believe you can smoke yourself straight. And I believe it's just smoking the same strain for over and over again for a week straight or something. You end up the first buzz of the day is good, and then you're trying to keep up with that all day, and you kind of. That's why I always have 4 or 5 different strains around just to
think about the first time you ever smoked a cigarette. That shit gave you a fucking head rush, like, and you fucking smoke a cigarette.
No, dab, because I don't do enough dabbing. Every time I
that
do a dab, I get out.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't do shit.
High water. Not out.
Fair enough.
I feel like
I'm buzzed. And that's why I like to do it
I
occasionally.
that one
Like it. It's a
missed
really
me,
good
luckily.
buzz.
I ain't fuck with the cigarette, so
Never
I have
smoked
to
a
do it.
cigarette?
I smoked one cigarette, and I was like, this shit is nasty.
That shit is disgusting.
That shit is nasty.
Hey, how about I could smoke weed all day long. You put a cigarette to my mouth and I cough and cannot take it in. I've never been a cigarette smoker all my whole life. I don't know what it is. I think because my dad was when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And our house always smelled of it. My parents both smoked, and I think it made me like become
Yeah,
so
disgusting.
Yeah, for me it was a disgusting thing to the point where I couldn't even kiss a girl if she smoked cigarettes in my teens. Like it was bad. Yeah. So I'm glad of that because it's a habit I never wanted to
Scott, what is
be
this?
stuck on.
That's a mix of the pie scream,
The
which
animal
is Scotty
face.
Pack, and what's it called?
With the animal
Animal
face.
face.
Animal face?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's a blend. It's a J blend.
Rhythm.
It's a
All right, so how do you feel
It's
about
a
this?
Buddha blend.
Right, this is rhythm, right?
Okay.
So it's indoor flower because it's an RO.
It's an
Great
RO.
strain.
Okay.
Great strain.
There's been a couple other ROs that have delivered their indoor flower, and we're like, nah, son, I'm good. But these guys brought their indoor flower, and everybody in the store was like, oh, okay. We all perked up, like, all right, let's see how this does. So I just want your take on it as a processor in the game with the ROs coming in and trying to be. And
I'm a little disappointed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm disappointed about? I got a fruit pectin gummy that I didn't start making till late 2018, and I perfected it from 2018 to now 3 versions. This is our 3rd version of our fruit pectin gummy. Excuse me, I'm tired and was on the road all day, so if I'm slurring my words, I apologize, everybody.
Right.
I will try to enunciate better. And I went to one of the medical dispensaries recently and asked them about the gummy selection they had. And I didn't do the research before because I've tried to stay away from that whole industry. I don't want to be negative about it. They are who they are. They're in every other state.
Yeah.
I thought they'd be ahead of all of us. That was my nerves. And guess what? Do you know there's only one company in the medical field that has a fruit pectin gummy? All the rest are gelatin. Now let me put this into perspective for everybody, why this matters. Gelatin is the inferior product to make gummies with, right? Why? It's easier to make it, but it's animal byproducts essentially, right? It doesn't react with everybody's bodies, right? It's easier to make, they maybe last longer, and it's harder to perfect these fruit pectin gummies. It costs more, there's no doubt. So I believe these medical dispensaries have basically been kind of cheaping out, going with the easiest way to make the gummies, and they're not even giving medical patients a better choice of gummies. So my perspective is they're in all these states. They've been running for 10, 15 years, and they can't even get to this with a gummy yet. They have the capabilities just like me.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. Is it really about money for them? Do they care about people? Because if they did, would they not have a fruit pectin based line probably in all of their?
Yeah, no, I don't. I haven't
so
like.
that-
I haven't
don't know
been
how to
impressed
answer
by
that.
any of the edibles at all. That's
Yeah,
a fact. None of the
so
edibles
I
are
can't. I
impressive.
won't talk about smoke because that's not where my
Yeah.
expertise is at.
Yeah.
That's just my personal perspective from looking at it from a neutral. Even if I wasn't in this industry,
Yeah.
it's just a way to kind of look at it. Like, why wouldn't the medical companies have a little healthier choice for people? Like, they have no sugar-free option unless it's gelatin based. Like, I don't know. I'm just a little weird about that.
Yeah.
But but I also know that the food industry is less critical with what they put in foods than we are in our industry. How about you guys ready here for this fun stuff? Did you know that if I was to make one of my gummies with a regular orange oil that is in every food product that we buy and anything, it would test for a pesticide that's illegal in the cannabis industry and it would fail. So we have to use organic orange with this, and we can't use a regular orange, okay? And if we, but yeah, any food you buy, your kids, gummies they eat, any candy, all has the orange that fails in our industry. So the FDA standards are actually less than the New York State standards right now for the quality of products being made, swear to God. And we are at the GMP dietary supplement level, which is the highest certification you can have under having like, other than like Nabisco Foods has a 3-day audit or something.
Yeah.
Every year I have a person in my building for 8 hours, reviews all my paperwork, all our procedures to make sure we are GMP compliant. I've gone through that now 5 years and have never scored under a 94.
I remember the first day I met y'all, that you were introduced to me as Brian, the compliance guy. You remember that?
That's still how I'm introduced to people, so it hasn't changed one iota. And to be honest, I'm kind of proud of that because
Yeah.
what does that mean? It means I have a 2-inch binder thick in my office that is highlighted with every reg that's been put out in the last 2 years. And I generally have most of it pretty close to be able to recall pretty quickly, or if not, I know where to go to look for the info. But I don't like guessing either, so I always refer to it to make. I'd rather reread something 5 times to people than be wrong. You know, that's journal. My basic background, guys, was 12 years journalist. Went to school for journalism at Morrisville State, phenomenal journalism school. And then I went to Oswego State for communications, and I had a career in newspaper business for about 10 years, so I understood root cause analysis and who, what, where, when, how, right? Like, when you have a problem, you want to get to the root of the problem. Sometimes people stop at the 3rd layer up, and the problem keeps happening, and they're wondering why, because they didn't get to the actual root of the problem. So that's kind of where my specialty comes in. I kind of get to the root of fixing things. If that makes sense. Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah. I'm an old guy. I was brought up in a florist family with a bunch of women helped raise me with a great grandfather. We had a lot of fun, but we worked hard. So like every holiday we were working, like 15 family members at a flower shop. Think about that. That's pretty cool
Flower
dynamic.
shop.
Yeah.
Look
So
at
how about
that.
flower shop to a cannabis guy? Think about that. My grandfather owned a
Flower shop to a flower shop.
Yeah.
Yo, Scotty,
Yo.
what you got on for kicks tonight, bro?
Yeah.
Scotty's kicks. Here we go.
Spot.
Put you on the spot.
he's gonna
I saw
take
you.
it off for
Yeah,
us?
you were sitting there mad high, looking off into space, and I was like, all right, I got to bring Scotty
I
back
like it.
in. We're gonna do
I thought he was
Scotty's
taking
kicks.
it.
Right now, nobody's even prepared for it.
Nothing special today. Just some Jordan 1 court.
Nothing special.
Jordan 1 court purple highs.
Oh, those are sweet.
Jordan 1 core
Yeah.
purple highs.
Court purple 2.0 actually. It's the second rendition of it. But yeah.
Okay.
Good shoe. Good shoe.
Good shoe. Good shoe.
You guys ready
Top
for this?
quality
Jordans
shoe.
came out when I was in high school.
84.
And my mom wouldn't buy me a
85.
pair of Jordans, so I had to go to Marshall's and get the knockoff Jordans. So this was probably like
Marshalls were back in '84. They had a Marshalls. Damn, son.
It was 85,
86,
85,
yeah.
yeah.
I was 'cause I
85,
graduated high
86.
school in 90, guys. So just
Yeah.
to put it my how old I am and what I know about hoops. Like, I became a Sixer fan because Dr. J, 1979, became a Philadelphia 76er. I was 6 years old at the time. I watched every Sixer game since that time. I'm a loser.
I feel like you're legit Gen X. Like I'm like on the border of Gen X and millennial. Like I don't know where that we're like Zennials. That we're that generation where we're like we had fucking. But I feel like you're legit Gen X, right?
Well,
Would you
no, my business
classify
partners
yourself
like
as
to
Gen
call me
X?
freaking geezer, and they want to say I'm from.
Well, your
know,
business partners are like straight millennials. They're not Zennials.
No,
They're
Gen
like,
X. You're the first person that said that to me, but yeah, I truly am a Gen Xer. Yeah, 100%. It's nice actually finally hear someone label me right.
Yeah,
About time.
yeah,
It's
man.
like our generation gets forgot about for some reason.
Yeah. So Scotty with the Supreme hoodie matching the fucking is that embroidered on the hoodie, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, patchwork shit.
Little patch, yeah.
Man,
So did you guys have cannabis experience
like
in this industry before working for Stage One or with Stage One?
I had a lot of
legacy.
legacy.
Yeah, I grew up home too. I'm right
Experience,
there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not very
legacy
well.
to legal at this motherfucker. What about you, Adam? You did a little legal growing, right?
Yeah. I did a legal grow in I worked on a legal grow in Oregon, and that's where I basically like learned. And then I worked on a farm in Oregon. It was a full diet farm to table farm, and it was like 200 acres. It was a staff of 8 of us, and I managed a 4-acre grow on that. And that was really cool because like we had like that was the first time I got to actually apply like ferments and compost teas to the soil because we were farming in the desert, and a hailstorm ran through and ripped all of our transplanted hemp out, like 2 acres just ripped out.
Mother Nature.
And community got together and we all just like popped those suckers back in, and for like 2 months, for the next 2 months, I just blasted them with teas, compost teas and fermented comfrey. And they like, you would never have been able to tell. They're like 6 feet tall, dark green, beautiful plants. And then
When were you in Oregon? What years?
2019 to 2022.
So how about this? So you probably could validate this. In Oregon, there's hardly any brands there. The farmers are all failing. Basically, they were the vertical integration was allowed, and now if you go to a dispensary there, you're not getting many brands, right? It's pretty sad. A lot of the licensed farmers are going away there.
Yeah, it's like when I was there, it was like a 10 to 1, like 10 pounds of weed for every person in the state.
Wow.
So the saturation, the saturation was insane. It was insane.
And now it's just basically 5 companies that are running it.
Yeah.
So weed is like just free there, basically.
No, so
Oh my- yeah,
oversaturated,
yeah.
and then what happened is all the small
Rosin's like
farmers
30
failed,
bucks a
and now
gram.
it's retracted again.
You know, you can get rosin for $40 a gram out there,
Yeah.
and like single
Just
source,
bottomed out
fresh
total.
press,
Yeah.
you know. And then
And he's a snowboarder too.
yeah, and then I did a legal grow here in New York. I partnered with my buddy, and we did an acre of outdoor in hugel beds,
Okay.
and we had
Define that for people.
hugel beds are garden beds built with a layering system. So it's like we dug a 2-foot trench, put logs on in the bottom, like big logs that were broken down from the forest, filled with like mushrooms and lichen and moss and all the good worms and bugs. And then we threw thinner sticks on, compost, straw, layered some more soil on top, and it makes this like 2-foot mound or not 2, but a nice big mound. And what it is just a bunch of layering, and so it gives the time for the nutrients to break down, and all the microbes in the soil are delivering the nutrients to the crop. So this year we dry farm. I know it's maybe not that impressive because it rains so much, but we dry farmed our whole crop, even ones under open caterpillar tunnels. Not a drop of water except for like our ferments that and just like fish aminos and whatnot that we put on, all beyond organic. And we passed tests without remediation. So microbe levels were fine, mold count below, everything was set.
It's huge right now, folks, to have stuff pass.
Yeah.
It really
So
is.
it just comes to show, like, you know, when you really put the upfront effort. You know, we didn't amend the beds this year. You know, we tested THC percentages up to 29% total cannabinoids.
Yeah.
And then,
Total
you know,
tack.
So it's just really awesome. It feels good, and that's to touch on your point earlier, what you're talking about with like the outdoors growers. It's that we need to learn genetics, you know, and we need to start buying climatized seeds and supporting the small seed farmers who are creating those seeds that are resistant to mold, that are resistant to like these, and adapted to these climates.
Adapted to these climates.
That's the next stage of New York State.
Yeah.
It really is.
And when we get there, then it's gonna be
It's no
even
different than
better.
grapes, right? Like grapes can only be grown in certain climates, right? So now we got to figure out what strains are going to grow best in New York
Best here
State,
in New
right?
York State,
So
yeah.
I'm sure the sour diesel is going to be there because it originated here. So I'm sure we're going to
diesel
that one will be one of the
process.
ones, right? So
Yeah.
we're going to find some strains that we might not even know will grow well here that we don't even know yet. So it's going to be really cool the next couple of years, genetic wise.
Genetics. Yeah.
Excited for that.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. And when all this stuff can pass testing, what we'll have is we all won't have to have small batches of the live rosin. We do 3,000 units anymore. We'll have more crops available that are passing testing, so these batches will be bigger and more live rosin products and specialty products for people. Right? That's the
You're
how
gonna
the
do
chain
live
works.
rosin vapes ever? You think?
Yes, we're hoping to. It's just a matter of getting enough material together for it.
Yeah, because
That's,
that's like,
you know.
I know that you guys will murder that if you ever bring that to market.
Yeah.
I know it's not going to be bullshit. You won't bring bullshit to market.
Yeah,
but,
that's the whole point. Yeah,
yeah.
you don't. It's not going to work. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I'm very glad. I haven't mentioned this before. I'm one of 6 owners. I have a very good team that I'm a part of. Everybody's very functional, and we couldn't do it without 6 of us.
Yeah, no, all of y'all are great. Yeah, I miss those guys. I got to come back and see you in a minute. Go see the whole team. Is the offices are finished now, I bet,
Oh
right?
God, yes, yeah. We've been having. We had a Halloween party. We had a Christmas party. We had employee stuff for employees. We have a Dungeons and Dragon game done once a month there now on Fridays, and for fight nights they go there sometimes. So we have a pool table and a dartboard and
Nice.
workout facility. So we try and make it very comfortable for the employees so they feel at home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah, thanks for asking.
No doubt.
Yeah, very proud of it. And by the way, on the other side of it, I was here when this building didn't have a parking lot. I remember picking up garbage on the grand opening day outside. Like, I know where you've gone from. I was
You were
here
here when there
in
were
this room.
sticks.
Was like
When there were
this room wasn't
sticks,
even
yeah.
like. I'm very proud of you and your team. I think you guys have done a very good job. You're in the shadow of Albany, in front of where all those laws are made for this industry.
Yeah.
And you seriously have a phenomenal team where people talk about you in the industry, and you're bringing music production and so many different things to the community. And I just want to say that I'm very proud of you and your team, all of you guys. I just want to say that.
Thanks, man. Appreciate
I don't want to play favorites, but you guys are awesome.
Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate
You've done
that.
right, man. Like, yeah, you truly do.
Speaking of music, Jay, you got a verse for me?
You already know that.
Yeah, I was waiting.
Come on, man.
All right.
Do.
So, I wasn't really big in the legacy like how all y'all was, you know what I'm saying? But I had my own. This is off of my first mixtape. My second mixtape, Loud Lyrics. I dropped this in 2012. This is the first song off of it. I said, I'm just chasing the fame, waiting and shaking the wait. I'm just chasing the fame, waiting and changing the thing, taking the break and making it work. It's gonna make me insane, writing my life on the page, pouring my soul on the stage, giving you all that I have, burning whatever remains. I cannot maintain when this life is just so mundane. Every day the same, heart of a lion trying to live untamed. Gotta make it up out this cage. I'm just trying to get out this rage. People telling me it's part of life, but I gotta grow out this phase. I cannot do this every day. I swear I'm going postal. That's why I'm trying to send a message every time that I lay my vocals on a beat. I ain't tryna live on the street, tryna clear my parents' debt so they can be comfy when they sleep. Know they do a lot for me, so I gotta give it back every time I make a rap. I think, wondering if my mother and father knew this is how their son would be. Probably not, just like they know they would break up after I turned 3. But I couldn't never put the blame on them, probably cause they never put the blame on me. Hold up, now I'm getting too deep. Damn, I'm always getting too deep. They don't wanna hear nigga talk about life, they just wanna hear nigga talk about green, cream, clothes, hoes, sneaks, fiends, coke, dope, lean, all these material things you can't take with you after you leave. So what I lack in money, I make up in memories. Bet you forget my outfit, guarantee you gon' remember me. So if my first impression ain't impressive, way my adolescence, this my introduction to my legacy.
Hey.
Booty.
Hey, how old were you when you spun that?
That was 23.
23?
Yep.
That's some educated things to say at 23.
23, yeah.
Like to know at 23 that the material things don't matter. Not that I didn't get it, but 3 of the most important people died in my life. And when they died, I learned 2 things, or reinforced 2 things. The only thing that mattered when they died was the relationships they had and the experiences they had.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the only 2 things that will ever matter. All the rest, making sure you have the pair of shoes for every season, you're wearing your style so you fit in with every group of people out there. None of that matters when you're on that last day.
Mm-hmm.
It's only gonna matter what relationships and experience you had.
Right, for
True
sure.
that, indeed.
Nah, definitely.
So that song that was that whole song right there.
It was, for
And
sure.
I know, I
appreciate that.
heard it, man. Every word.
Word.
Like,
Yeah,
100%.
that's what I do it for. It's for those feelings, those emotions. Like, I try to make sure that we actually feeling something. That's what I've thought that same way. Like, that's what really matters is the bonds that you have with people, the connections, the memories that you make with them. Because that's what's going to make you grow. And that's going to help you moving forward, making decisions on how you interact with people, how you acknowledge people, how you present, how you show up in certain situations. Like, that's what really matters more than, like you said, like what you might be wearing at a certain time. And I still do, like, obviously I still wear certain things and shit, but that's just because I like to,
You still got the outfit. The fit is still looking.
that's just a form of expression.
That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying? Like, you could take all that stuff away from me right now and I still would be here. You know what I mean? And
Now,
it's
if we
like,
took all that stuff away from you, you'd be here with your fucking 6-pack bag, like you do at every show and shit. Like,
you know.
this motherfucker.
Taking off his shirt.
Yeah, taking off your shirt and like,
Hey,
yeah,
I keep these on though. You know what I'm saying? Take everything off. It's just the
Wait,
shirt.
hold on, well, you brought a rock
Keep the
out,
stones on.
like
Yeah,
the
that's a
stone.
fact.
Keep the stones
Got
on.
Penelope
You always
with me.
you got
Word up.
all the stones, but you brought a stone for the table.
Yeah, that's Penelope.
Penelope,
That's the homie.
That's the homie right
Word
there.
up, that Labradorite.
Yeah, what is
Came
it?
through. Labradorite.
All right.
Word up, with a little
That's-
shine
What's the
on it and
significance
shit.
of that?
So this is basically, I got this a while ago when I was going through like a crazy time in my life, right? And I had a bunch of these in my house, and like I started to like learn about them. You know what I mean? Like, one of my friends really taught me how like they're conductors. You know what I mean? And you can really put whatever you want into them. And then I never really had I was like trying to, like, one of my friend who actually taught me about them, like, she had some, she would name some of them, she wouldn't, like, not all of them, but this one actually was just like, I just felt like it was Penelope, and I was like, all right, cool, you're Penelope. I got a couple other ones, like I got selenite, I got this one that's like a bulb, and then I got one that's just like a stick, and then the one, it was like smooth and nice, it was like so beautiful, so I just called it Celeste, because I use it when I want to manifest. Right?
Fuck yeah, dude.
That's how I do.
Right? And then Celine is the one that's actually in the dispensary right now.
If you come in, even when Jay is not working now at this point, there's just like,
There's some rocks. In
yeah,
there.
there's definitely crystals around all of the registers bringing the vibe.
Yeah.
I got quartz in my
No,
car.
I like
You know?
it.
Yeah,
And-
the
and-
vibe.
and
Listen,
it's thoughtful crystals you're putting out there.
Exactly,
That's
yeah.
what-
listen. The
Yep.
vibe
And
is the vibe.
so
is the vibe.
this one right
and
here.
put out the good karma, and you're gonna get the good karma back,
right.
right? Like,
And with that being said, literally this today, a customer brought this. This is tourmaline, black tourmaline.
Yeah.
And I gave her a crystal a while back. I don't even remember. when I give it to her. You know what I mean? Because I give them out all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
But people do that all the time, and literally today somebody came and gave this.
He gave that to you.
Yep, it happens so often. Like half of the crystals that are there are from.
Are from customers.
Or people in your life, and you've done the same.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Isn't that something dope?
Mm-hmm.
Pull
Thanks for
up.
that education.
Pull up.
Oh, thank you for the education.
Bring your rocks.
Good, man.
Yeah, I keep thinking about this fucking this video, this like reel I saw on Instagram. He's like this dude standing up on stage, and he's like in front of a panel, and the panel's like, "Tell us about yourself," and he's like, "I'm not retarded or nothing, but I like rocks." He fucking pulls rocks out of his pocket.
rocks.
How many times have I played that? In the
all day. He's just killing it. I like rocks.
I'm retarded, no, but I like rocks. So funny.
Oh God, that's great. Oh,
It's hilarious. Yeah, that's me.
Fucking, yeah, it's just hilarious. Oh man! All right, I'm gonna drink this.
Do it up,
Weed
Jack.
water.
Yeah.
My favorite pineapple. We got new flavors coming to that.
they'll be coming soon, guys.
Yeah?
They'll be coming soon.
Yeah.
We have our cans are in.
We
Bottle
love
is
weed
commencing.
water.
How about you do a bottle with a serving size cap?
You can't only have one serving size beverages as part of the regs.
Not if it's measured out.
Not for beverages, you can't. So I have to have single serving beverages. The syrups, we have the cap is the measuring for the syrups. But you always have to have a measuring device.
But you can't do like I think that's what
like a gallon
Scotty's
of water,
saying, like
a gallon of
a
water and like
and with
have
a
water-
cap,
No,
with a big cap as like
No,
a
not
shot.
gallon, but
no, I know what you mean. Yeah,
Like a liter?
But remember, if they're thinking that like that as well. You know what I mean? Like you know how people would be. They
Like a you know
cap on it.
fucking
yeah.
1,000 milligram.
Well, the key is, guys, we got to have it in cans to keep
Or
our
100
formulas right.
milligrams even. What's that?
The cans are for the formulas, right? Like
Yeah.
that's why you can't put things in clear plastic, right? So if you, the nice thing about weed water is because it is flat water, it doesn't have carbonation, so it could be resealed if you don't want to drink the whole thing, or it can be put in another container and it's just regular water.
Yeah.
But where all the other beverages on the market all have seltzer, you know, so the minute you open it, it's toast at that point. So I guess that's part of the philosophy too, is you can't really, you know, how much you're gonna do. And these are what, 5 milligrams, I think, the
I
heirlooms.
just think it'd be sick to have a big
10.
100.
Oh,
So
no, I would like
10 of them in one. You
I
know,
would
like-
love to have
like
10
a
if
big-
I could get
So
away
this
with it.
weed water
100%.
is flavored with
big old
terpenes
bottle.
too, right? Like that's the flavor. It's like the water, and then there's weed, and the weed is the flavor, and it's a terpene. So like
The terpene is a flavor from true terpenes, right? So how about this? We make our base water in house. We strip it down. A city water we bring in. We make it DI water, which you can't drink, deionized water. Then we make our own reverse osmosis water. That reverse osmosis water then pumped into the building where our lab testing is. For all of our products is made with reverse osmosis water, and then to our ice for our ice machine for our solventless. So all the ice is RO ice, and then we make our own GC water. So we picked our own minerals, because right there, guys, is the only flat water in the nation. Are you guys aware of that? There is not another cannabis flat water drink in the nation. So we use our microfluidizer, get it down to a certain nanometers, and we get that to sustain in the GC water that we make in house with a full Culligan system. It's a full filtered Culligan system, $100,000 system monitored on site by Culligan. So that right there is distillate water that we create right to the final step, and a little just a little bitter agent and terpenes. That's it. So three
Terpenes.
basic ingredients.
It's a pretty unique product. It really
Yeah.
is.
3 basic
it is.
ingredients.
and then 2 milligrams of CBD.
Little CBD is a little,
Yeah.
carrier, because that
a
ratio,
good
that
thing.
5 to
It's a
1
good
ratio.
Yeah.
So we're very proud of it, and I credit my chemist and our staff that kind of formulates all together for us to be able to come up with the flat water. I'm pretty proud of the fact that, think about this: Oregon, Colorado, California. How many more years ahead of us? These ROs. How many more years ahead of all of those places than us that we just started in 2019?
Yeah.
And then we came up with a flat water. So
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Nah, you guys are killing that for sure.
I'm kind of proud of it.
Nah, for them it's good.
Yeah, we're getting there. We sold through way more cans than we expected. I'll tell you, the first 25 dispensaries. A very, very good problem to have.
Yeah,
sure.
really good problem. No,
Yeah.
you guys are ready to scale up though.
No, we are. Yeah,
You
scaling
guys
up
are-
is not
yeah,
the
yeah.
issue. Yeah, it is. It's all about at this point. I can't wait till this, more dispensaries open up so we can get more ROI for everybody. Right. So the farmers, why did they struggle with only 20 open? Well, because there wasn't enough dispensaries to put all their stuff into it, so then they couldn't make money to reinvest to plant more seeds this year, to grow their operations more, to maybe do a pre-roll operation on site, which they could do light processing, right? So this is what that bottleneck you mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
this is the ripple effect we're feeling of it now,
Yeah.
right? These poor farmers and us processors, there wasn't enough money to turn around for us, right? And then we're paying the excise taxes, which we all know are part of it, right? Which is a very bigger bill than many people realize.
Yeah.
And we're paying that out.
No, I'm always telling people about that shit. I'm letting people know. Today I was out. I actually was at in Rensselaer trying to make sure I get this space approved to be a recording studio, so I can really like start bringing full on sessions and everything up here and start. And not like this isn't a full on session,
No,
I guess,
no,
really, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, make it
Still good
official.
news?
Yeah.
But yeah, make it official. Good. Yeah, the good news. So they actually approved it today. So we're gonna be getting that going really soon, hopefully.
And this is what I like. There's a lot more politicians in the state trying to help people out in this industry than are not.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
finding
So
that's really
the
good.
city has been behind us. They love it. They wanted to just make sure that OCM wasn't going to be like, oh, you have two businesses in the same building, but they asked OCM and OCM did not respond. That is basically it's what. Then they took their lack of response as they don't really give a fuck. And then
We're too fucking
and then the
busy.
city and then their city, the attorney looked into the MRTA. Our attorneys looked into the MRTA. There isn't anything preventing it. There, we just had the OCM just needs to be notified, and that's it. So we notify the OCM that I moved my recording studio from across the river to the space above the dispensary because it makes a lot of theoretic sense to do that and have both my businesses functioning in the same building, and like I could actually do that. Otherwise, I'd be running around. I don't know. I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could keep the studio at the armory and be here at the dispensary and make them both work. I don't think I could do that.
And that's the reality of this industry, everybody. This is a valid point. I don't want to be let go. So, for instance, do you guys know what like some of my days have been in the last 6 months? You guys ready for a typical day for a processor in some states situations? We're based in Rochester, so we deliver across the whole state. So there have been many times where I spend a day where I leave my building at about 2 a.m, load a truck to bring down to New York City for like 4 or 5 deliveries. And by the time I did those deliveries and then had a couple meetings because the dispensary was opening, everything was going on, I basically was awake for like 21, 22 hours before I went to bed for the next day. So I was up at 2 a.m., didn't go to bed till like 11 o'clock that night before I finished everything up, right? He's at the same situation. There was a dispensary owner that said something to me the other day, said, hey, I got some sleep recently. Because this is very consuming and it's a very much owner-operator industry, folks. If the owners aren't operating the business, the profit margins aren't where everybody in the world thinks they are yet.
All right.
The taxes are still high and there's still a learning curve and we still got the black market to shut down. So it's not where it needs to be. So right now you guys are fighting for every dollar and making sure you're turning things around. So the last thing you want is your business is spaced out and wasting time in your day that you can be more efficient.
Right. No, we're in here, man. When we first opened, I was here 15 hours a day every fucking day. I'm here every day regardless, but back then it was like 15 hours a day.
Never not here.
I was never not here.
No,
Yeah.
that's-
And that was for like
A while.
a
after we
while,
opened.
many months.
Yep.
And I remember like the first time getting away for a second was still to like a revelry event. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that
And
ass.
like maybe it was the one in Hudson,
Yeah.
and where it was like, and that was like the first once we opened the first one and it was like an afternoon fucking 45 minutes away. The whole time I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? Is everything gonna be okay at the fucking store? And I'm seeing people and they're like, yeah, how you doing? And I'm like trying to focus on products and I'm meeting new people and I don't know. It was very a very hectic day. And then came back to the shop to like still had to fucking close. I was still here to open, still had to close it. You know what I'm saying? And but now it's like the team is so strong that's like we can make the shit happen. Like I don't have to be here. I pull up because it's I mean, you know, I want to be here. It's a fucking great place to be. And that's
It's your baby.
Yeah, well,
It's your baby.
But the other thing is like I've talked to a lot of fucking staff, and a lot of staff like look forward to coming to work. Like I look forward to being here. I like being here. Shit is fun. Like people are having a good time. Everybody's vibing out. Like nobody's not enjoying the day, even when it's like busy. It's fucking fun. Shit is crazy.
Nah, for sure.
Yeah.
I like it when
Sometimes when it's super busy, it's not that fun though. I'm looking at Scott's face. Scott's like, yo, bro. Now when it's mad busy, dude.
Me and Jay be in there.
we be holding it down, Jack.
Just us sometimes.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Hey,
Going to war.
Hey, it's
Go
fun
to
though, isn't
war.
it? It's fun.
It's a lot.
It is.
I mean, we're selling weed, guys.
Selling weed
Nah, it is
for a
fun,
living.
Man, that's all I keep saying. We're selling weed for a living.
No, it's a
Selling
fact
weed.
though. Hell yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
It is
plan.
crazy. It's a beautiful thing. It really is.
And then we could like talk about that shit on camera,
Word.
and then like
Smoke weed in front of the
fucking
police
and
not have to worry about them.
That's
fucking
super
coming in.
cool.
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Not have to worry, sitting and smoking. They could drive by and not have to be like, oh,
not have to worry. Yeah, it's a really weird feeling.
All right, so how about like these politicians? Could they ever think that we could have like an intellectual conversation? We talk about an industry, we talk about a plan, we talk about people's bodies, health, right? What subjects haven't we talked about right now? All bunch of weed heads sitting in a circle, and we're all making a difference in the society in a positive way.
While
Impact.
smoking mad weed and
Like,
drinking
come on.
weed
yeah, for sure.
Positive impact in society.
And
Let's take
eating
one.
Yeah,
weed.
for sure. It really is.
Right? It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, let's get some story time with Ricky going. I know Ricky got a story on deck, dude. Am I putting you on the spot, bro? Because you always have the fucking
He's
the
right,
ill,
he's-
hilarious story.
So hold on, let me take a sip real quick.
He has been the quietest one
Oh
today.
damn! You didn't tell him about this.
I didn't. I'm just bringing it on him.
Damn, he's been over here hiding out.
He did that to you earlier. He did. He was like, "Yo, Scotty, I see you over there staring in the corner. What shoes you got on?"
It was like when you asked me the science
That's
of
my
making
job
it.
right now is to just like point at you, any
hey, what's
motherfucker,
up?
like, yo.
Who's the dude in the corner?
Yeah.
One time, there was like this really big party, and I definitely skipped school for like a week and just passed out these handmade flyers that I made for the party. Party ends up getting busted. I didn't know. I just got hit up by a friend that told me, like, yo, found this party here this weekend. No, I just sent the shit out.
So wait, your friend told you about the party, and then you made flyers for it?
Made a couple flyers, passed out to people. Made a little
Was it-
chat, sent it out.
Trying to make like a Project X party or
I
some
was just,
shit.
yeah, we were young, we were stupid. It blows up because it was at some dude's house that had some ties to professional sports.
Okay.
And I was in a picture that was like, I was holding my hat backwards, just cheesing in the middle of it. I'm out of school at this point. I go to visit my dad.
You're still in high school?
No, I'm out.
Oh.
No, I'm in college. I go to visit my dad. Like, yo, they want to see you down at the principal's office, bro. I was like, I don't even go to school here anymore. What do you mean? I go into the office. Like, hey, what's up, guys? I sit down. They got this shit, like the picture on the big screen, like the projector, and I'm just like in the middle, and they zoomed in on it. So it's like a little bit blurry. So like, you recognize that person? I was like, nah, I can't really. I can't call it.
Can't call it. Can't call it.
Can't call it.
Call it.
Can't fucking call it.
It ended up on like ESPN, like that picture.
Because it was at a famous sports player's house?
Yeah, it was on Twitter too. Like I was getting like threats on Twitter from like friends.
No,
people
shit.
telling me like I'm a horrible person. I was like, bro, I just showed up for a party. Like, it was crazy. It blew up. I don't know. That was my on spot story.
I ain't mad at it.
I'm out of it. There you
That
go.
was a good one.
Rick, story time with Ricky. All right.
Good.
Yeah.
So now from here on out, it's always story time with Ricky. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the
time,
new, it's the
right.
new,
Damn.
it's the new launch.
Because your stories are the bomb.
That's what's
All
up.
right.
Yeah. Buddha Buddha.
Buddha Buddha.
What's up, Alan?
What up? All right.
you doing, dude?
So now it's time for Scotty's introductions.
Alright. Doing the outro of all the nicknames?
Yeah.
Oh. We gotta say goodbye to Mark, Grayson, Alan. I'm sorry you don't have one.
Ryan.
Brian.
Ryan.
Ryan.
Oh, he's Ryan because he
Yeah,
worked with
'cause he's real name's Brian. So he's Ryan.
with Ryan, who's Brian.
that's a
Yeah,
fact.
we work with Ryan, who's Brian. And you're Brian, so he's Ryan.
Yeah, I'm Ryan.
Then we got Mickey, we got Scooty, and we're missing Chantrell, and we're missing Sherman.
Sherman.
Or I'm trying to Don Virgil on him.
Don Virgil.
I want to make his name Virgil.
His name Virgil.
Yeah.
All right.
That was actually Ricky's idea, but I'm fully
He didn't
behind
like it.
fully behind it.
Yeah.
He did not adapt after he heard that. He was like,
Vernon
he
Virgil.
was like, I can't do
Vernon
that.
Virgil.
I feel like it kind of works. Vernon
Nah, I
Virgil.
dig it.
He wasn't digging.
Shout out Rap Dills.
Like, what-
Shout
what the
out
hell,
Rap
Sherman?
Big
Dills.
facts. How we never did that yet. Big shout out for after this, Jack. Hell
Word
yeah.
up.
Okay.
Stage 1
Buddha Buddha.
podcast. Buddha Buddha. Shout out NoWave.
Shout out
Thanks,
NoWave.
Thank
guys.
you for pulling up,
Appreciate
Brian.
it.
Really appreciate your time
Yes,
and your
yes.
education.
My pleasure.
Shout out to the Stage 1 team, the squad in the building. Legacy, the legal, stoop to store. You know what it is. Peace.
Buddha.
I be on that OG, tell you about the OG, piling up the roaches, got me feeling roasty, higher than the notice, my shit ain't got no seats, I be on the green like